Hi, in this video, I'm going to show you how to edit, add, and archive your employees outside of your renewal application. Now, the reason we would say outside your renewal application is if you are in that 90-day window, you need to prioritize and assess whether or not you have time to make these staff changes. A director designee are going to require LDOE approval. It's not terribly long. But if you are at a 30-day mark, then I would not suggest it. Make sure that you do everything that you can within your renewal. Any changes you need to make can be done within your renewal, short of a change of location or license type or ownership type. Okay, those are separate applications in themselves. All right, so if we have instances where your director quit or director was terminated and you must have a director on site, then regardless of how close you are, with the exception of a couple weeks or so, you do want to go ahead and use the staff management that we're going to learn this morning. Make sure you get that director in there. Okay, same thing with the designee, but if the designee can wait, put it inside of your renewal. Okay, any of your staffing information, renewal certifications for their credentials, all of that can be done inside of your renewal application. Again, if there are circumstances to where something must be uploaded, you're being asked to upload something by your licensing consultant or your provider certification administrator, then I will show you how to do that as well. All right, so first let's get started here. Now this pending application section down here, regardless of how many sites you have, this is a clearinghouse for all of your applications. So if you start or begin with a staff member and don't finish entering that staff member or updating the information, it will fall under here, just like your past applications with the edit and the cancel. And you can always go back into that later, finish that one particular staff member. And I will show you what that looks like once we've begun a staff member. Okay. Now you will have already had to have had permissions granted and have this entity dashboard that you see here. Okay. If you still have a new provider dashboard, then please join my EdLink setup and requesting access roles training, and we will get you in position to work with your staff and staff management. All right, let's get started. I've chosen a type 3 just as a demonstration. So we're going to click on staff management. Okay, and notice the instructions here. Make sure that you do read the instructions. Now, since this says eligible, we're going to assume that this note is outdated, and that's perfectly fine. Watch for these notes, because if we do have a system issue, we will inform you to the best of our ability. Okay, also these instructions, do not X out of them. Please leave them up. Okay, and then we have these toggles. Okay, we have active, which would be Henry. And then the inactive, these are ones I've previously archived. Okay, so they're never really gone. We've just archived them. Okay, so we're going to go back to active. I don't want to try to mess around with this one, any revisions or delete, because it's going to require LDOE licensing. Okay, and I want to demonstrate how to add and edit and archive first. So we're going to add an employee. Now, this alert is letting you know that everyone needs to have an eligible CCCBC or CBC. If they have not, if he or she has not applied for this, then inside of your application process, when you start to put their information in, or you can go to any of your instructions. You can also go to Louisiana Believes, and you can type in their CCCBC eligibility, okay, and it'll take you to the portal, or you can just go to CCCBC Louisiana, and you will also be taken to the portal. Okay, but that link is available in many places. All right, so the first thing that we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and close this out with the hash lines up there. We're going to choose a position. We're going to choose lead teacher. Now your lead teacher, and other staff all have the same credentials. Okay, the 3 mandatory in order just to submit the application. You will need more for approval. Okay, there are other requirements that you will need. You'll see here in a little bit. Okay, date of current role, we're just going to put today. Date hired in any capacity, we'll put last week. This doesn't matter whether you check yes or no. It's already factored into your site, whether or not you qualify. So it has nothing to do with whether you check it or not. All right, so first name, let's put the staff member in there real quick. We're going to use some preset information here that I have ready. Okay, I'm going to put there an emergency contact. You must have one on-site and one off-site. Okay, street name, let's just pick some of this. Let's go through here. Louisiana is always at the top. Now, once you have this done, hit copy to mailing. Now, remember, this is the person's personal information. This is not the center information. And it's very important that you do this, because if this individual ever leaves, and most likely will, employment with you and goes to another site, they need to have the ability to access their EdLink account. And they can't do that if they're using emails that belong to a previous server that they don't have access to anymore. Okay, or an address, for instance. Okay, so we're going to put date of birth in. Now they have to be over 16 and they can't be over 100. All right, the Social Security, as soon as you put it in and click away, everything redacts except for the last four. Your identification number, this is going to be driver's license, passport. Right here you can see your options. It could be any state issued ID if you're not a driver. Okay, and again, Louisiana's at the top. Okay, and we're going to select our sex and race. Now, this is going to be a requirement every single time you make any additions, revisions to a staff page. Okay, you will need to make sure that you upload their identification front and back. Again, choices are listed right there. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we are going to refresh CCCBC. Okay, so let's go ahead and refresh CCCBC status. We want to do this for every employee that we enter, including ourselves. And now notice we've refreshed it. Lorianne has synced up with CCCBC and has an eligible status. If you get a no match here, which would be in red, because green is good. If you get anything in red, you're going to want to stop and cancel and return. Okay. Inform this employee, or you can look into it yourself, but double check. You can do a couple things before you hit cancel and return. You can double check their social, double check their birth date, make sure their name is correct, and then you can run back down here and hit refresh again. And I should have said that after you try this a couple times and it's still coming up no match, then you're going to cancel and return and assume that something needs to be done to make corrections to this. And most likely, the individual is going to have to contact CCCBC themselves, or as a director, you would do that in their stead, okay? So once we have eligible, we're going to hit save and continue. Okay, so now we're on the staff information page. Okay, so here it tells you as the director what is required to upload for this particular staff member. Okay, so the mandatory 3, your CPR, pediatric, and your key orientation modules, and mandated reporters and clock hours. Okay, mandated reporters, CPR, and first aid are the basic mandatory documents. If they are new and do not have these others yet, then contact your licensing consultant or your provider certification administrator and speak to them on, ask them specifics as to how long you have to complete these, or if they're needed in order for you to be approved, okay? So let's go to CPR training first. You do need to go 1, 2, 3. You can't go out of order, just go from left to right down. Okay, so we're going to put in American Red Cross just for short. Expiration date, I'm just going to choose day. It should be a year or two, depending on what you did. Okay, we're going to upload a file. And now we're going to go to the pediatric first aid. And let's say we did these on the same day. If you completed these on the same day, let's see where we at. Future dates. Let's do the expiration. Let's see. There we go. Okay, so if you did these on the same day and they sent you one PDF, that's perfectly fine. Just upload it twice, once in each category. All right, your key orientation modules. Do not get this confused with anything to do with the CCAP, okay? So we're going to put these under. Okay, we're going to do the date completed. And we're going to upload that file. And then mandated reporter. Expiration date is always a year. Okay, and we're going to choose a file. And your clock hours are ongoing. Okay, so we're going to put 20 hours, date completed. We'll put last week. And then you'll upload these. Do not forego uploading your key modules or your clock hours. Okay, we don't want the consultant to send it back. It'll just cause delays to you. So even though there's not a mandatory red asterisk, you will still need to upload these. Okay, and if you have any questions again on the time frame and eligibility, please contact your licensing consultant. All right, so these are optional for a staff member. That would include your lead teacher, and other staff. Medication administration, that might seem important, but that doesn't apply to you. That would apply to your directors or designees, okay? However, all of these others are optional. So if you want to upload any ancillary certifications, degrees, college credit hours, or experience, this is where you would do that. You would add new, choose a category for education training, and then you're going to let us know what you're uploading, okay? And you can upload additional clock hours here, okay, if you want to do that. Let's do continuing education training. Let's do ancillary certification. Okay, expiration date. Okay, we're going to go ahead and hit the check mark. Now, if you need to look at the document and make sure you uploaded what you intended to, you can click on the eyeball. It'll open into a different window for you. So when you close out the window of that document, it won't hinder the application process. If it's not the one you want, just hit the little trash can and upload the correct document and then hit the check mark. And now you see it listed under optional records, okay? So we're going to save that staff record. Now look, now she is listed here. All right, so let's go back and take a look at your dashboard though. Let's go check out and see if anything changes. Notice you don't have anything on your dashboard that's in progress. In progress, you would see the edit and a bright yellow cancel. And the reason is because we completed that staff member. So we're going to go back to staff management one more time. And we're going to add new. Okay, we're going to do this real quick because I want you to see the editing and the archiving. Okay. So we're just going to try to zip through this as fast as we can. I think I zipped a little too fast. There we go. Okie dokie. There we go. Okay, and again, you can have as many emergency contacts as you would like. Copy to mailing. Remember, this is their information. Okay, and their social. And we're going to upload that verification of identification, a copy of your document or your IDs. And then we're going to hit refresh CCCBC and notice she's eligible as well. So now we're going to save and continue. Now remember, she is listed as other staff. Okay, so there are certain things that are mandatory and certain things that are not. Okay, so CPR. Okay, pediatric first aid. Okay, we're just going to continue to upload these just so that you can see how we're doing these. Okay. Remember to check your year. Remember, these are always going to be a year or 2 years out. Okay. And now the last thing that we're going to throw in here is your clock hours. Okay, we want to back that up. There we go. All right. So we have everything we need in there. And there are no optional ones on this particular employee, but if you do, you'll hit add new. Now we're going to save staff record. Okay, so let's pretend that you have 50 employees. Okay, you have page after page, and of course down here you'll have pagination down here. So if you do have more than 10, it will flip to, you can select page 1, 2, 3, and so forth, okay? Let's say that Susie no longer works for me, okay? Here's Susie's information. If I need to make a quick call to her or send her something really quick. But Susie's decided to move on. Okay, so we can archive Susie, and we do this by clicking right here. And it's going to ask us why. Okay, now we're going to remove the emergency contact. We're going to hit accepted. Now down here, we need to put a reason or justification for removing her. Now the employee end date, this needs to be precise. Okay, so Friday, she told us she was not going to be coming back on Monday. All right, so we have everything done here. Always double check, make sure this is who you mean to archive up in the staff name. And we're going to hit save and submit. Now she's gone. Now, if we want to see where she went, we'll go to inactive. And there she is right there. Okay, and we can still see her information if we need to contact her. Maybe a final paycheck or questions regarding a complaint or an incident that happened while she was here, okay? So let's go back to active. All right, so now notice that this has the red triangle with the exclamation mark in it. It just means that the member has not submitted the required mandatory documentation. Or there may be questions that still need to be answered. It doesn't mean anything's wrong. It just means that you can't proceed without doing that. Many of you, especially the seasoned providers who are far enough out from a renewal that you want to use your staff management to update your documentation and your staff, you're going to see this triangle in every single one of your employees, most likely. You'll see this if something is coming up for renewal, 90 days, 60 days. So it's your task to open up all these using the pencil. Okay, again, it's reminding you that certain things do require LDOE approval. Okay, so this would be the particular one here because it is a director or director designee. We're going to continue to staffing change. Open that page up. All right, so we are just going to see what might be missing. Now, if you're responsible or the director's responsible for more than one early learning center, they must check yes here, and they must always appoint or hire a designated director or director designee. Okay, so make sure you keep that in mind. Okay, so I'm going to remove that because it will not approve this director right off the bat if I don't have a director designee. All right, so the name and contact, yes, they are emergency contact. So what they need right here is this requirement. We need the ID. So let's go ahead and upload their verification of identification. Okay, and we always want to hit refresh CCCBC again. We want to make sure, especially the director, that that's always current. We're going to hit save and continue. All right. So the reason we need to upload some of these is because they are coming up to expiration. So we want to make sure that these are uploaded. And again, you do need to move from left to right. It looks like you can, but nothing will be uploaded. Okay. Expiration. Okay, we're going to upload these. Remember, as the director, you have several documents that you need to upload. Okay, if you're type 3, you're going to have 6 mandatory documents, but also all of your milestones in your CCAP, your pre-orientation, pre-service orientation. Okay, so let's just get these in quickly. Maybe, let's see. Okay, there's a CCAP, pre-service orientation. Date completed. And notice there's not an expiration date on this. It does not expire. Normally, your directors and director designees will do this pre-service orientation. Okay, pre-service orientation key modules. Let's see, certification, mandated reporter. Okay, we're going to choose the file. Now, the reason that you would have to do this is, remember, every year you'll be going into each of your employees, including yourself, and making sure that all credentials are updated. It may seem like you just uploaded these last year, and you did, but these expire with the exception of that CCAP expires almost every year, sometimes 2, but almost every year, okay? So we have included these as optional down here, the pre-service orientation. If they're listed right here, we can include them. A director level, or excuse me, letter. And this came from the state of Louisiana. So if you're not familiar with that, they are under entity management on the left side. And then you go into entity documents about halfway down. And then the top of the page, you'll see all your licensing information, which you're welcome to download and save or print or just view. Now the change verification. We're updating credentials, added verification of identity. Okay, so now we're going to scroll down, signature authorization. Now, remember when we put the other staff in, it didn't ask for this. Okay, but this one it does because we are doing or editing the director. And we're going to save staff record. Notice how all of your buttons are lightened now. They're inactive. Okay, this action is currently disabled as there's another application in progress for this entity. Remember when I said that whenever we work with a director or director designee's information, it will be sent to LDOE right away, and you won't be able to make any other staff changes. Okay, so what I want you to see is, let's go to the dashboard. Okay, so that application will not be here. Remember, the only time an application will be under pending is if you start an employee, including yourself, and do not finish and leave the application and come back to finish that employee. However, you finish the information on that employee, so you will not see it here. And once that's approved, the changes will be automatically made. You will get alerts under your messages. Okay, you will see some messages here. You can look at unread, or you can do show all. Okay, and again, those documents, let's say you just need to, let's see, your licensing consultant says Susie. Susie Brown needs her credentials updated. So can you upload those into EdLink for me so that I can see those? Well, what you're going to do, we'll just say Lorraine White. Okay, Lorraine White needs to do this. So you're going to go to staff records, or you can go into the pencil here once it's active. Okay, go through the whole staff page, hit the eligibility, the refresh for CCC eligibility, and then you'll be taken to the document upload page. Or you can go to staff records. And let's see. Let's see if you might want to do it by white. See if we can get that in. So expires. Okay. So expires within 90 days. Okay. We can see all expired too. We can click on that and see who's completely expired. Okay. Director designees information. Okay. These are coming up soon here within a month. So here, depending on which employee that you choose to update credentials, you'll add new. Okay, you're going to select the staff member and the category and the type. Okay, expiration date. And now you're going to choose the file. And now you're just going to hit save. And you have the same icon options as before. You can view the document, you can trash the document. We're going to hit save. Okay, and now your new document has been uploaded. So when we look up that particular individual, or we can just look here, which I didn't spell that correctly. There we go. Okay, we're going to do expires within 90 days, all expired. Okay, and we also have our archived. So what you would want to archive are the older ones when you replace it with a new one. Okay. All right. And let's go back to staffing dashboard. This little symbol will go away once it's been approved. So let's again go back to our dashboard. Now notice we don't have any start renewal up here at the top. Okay, most of you, because this is a year away. If you were within your 90-day window, you would see the start renewal. Once you open your start renewal, you cannot make changes over here with staff management. Now, if this does happen, okay, let's say you are working on your renewal at the 90-day mark. You want to get a jump on this. You want to be way ahead of things, okay? But a month into you working on your renewal, your director quits and you need to replace that director in the system. Okay, So you have your renewal open, which will be under pending. Down here, it'll say edit and cancel. And we're pretending you have not submitted it yet, okay, which would take it to pending status. Let's just say it still has that edit and the bright yellow cancel. Well, you have to get that director in. You don't want to wait another 2.5 months to do that or 2 months to do that. So consider the work that you've put into the renewal. If it's electronic documents and the things can be added, again, the documents, then you're going to cancel the renewal. That will free up your staff management to go ahead and enter your new director to LDOE for approval. Then you can come back and then you can start your renewal again. But you can only have one application in progress at one time. Now, one thing I want to warn you against, if you hear anything else in this video, make sure you hear, if you don't hear anything else in this video, make sure you hear this. Do not delete your application or withdraw it. Okay, you can cancel it while you're still working on it. But once you submit it, never withdraw. In other words, never click that red button. Now, it's a 3 or 4 step process, so it's not going to be done accidentally. You might do it thinking that you're supposed to do it, but it can't be done accidentally. Okay? Do not withdraw your application for any reason. Okay, if you do, your buttons will remain inactive and you will have to fill out a support ticket to have any of these options functional for you again. Okay. So if you do have questions about withdrawing, make sure that you contact either the help desk, okay, or you contact your licensing consultant. I would recommend that if you have questions about whether or not you should withdraw your application, then please contact the help desk, and I will put up the page right here under training. Okay, and you're going to click right here, this top link right in the middle, the first one, okay? And it opens up into the EdLink support ticketing system. And there is an option there for training. And I'm perfectly fine with that being routed to me. Just let me know why you think you need to delete it, and I'll be more than happy to help you. Also, Candace Allen, she is in the support desk. Her and Eric Bryant, they will both be more than happy to help you. You will see all 3 of our names on your tickets at some point or another, okay? So let's go back to EdLink Ops here. We are finished with staff management. Again, if you have any questions, please contact me. If you will look over here, the new calendar for June and July for any preceding months as well will be right up under here under hot topics. And you'll also find it in the bottom here, okay? An updated calendar will be up any day now. All right, but take a look at these training videos. Okay, the training videos that we created, also the PDF manuals that we've created. You have your KinderConnect support and training down here and your CCAP provider support. And that is it.